The college basketball experience WAC conference season preview for 2023-24 on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/SGPN and use the code SGPN for a first deposit match up to $100. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today, people. Plus, we're brought to you by the MMA Gambling Podcast. They just launched their YouTube channel. And to celebrate, we're giving away an MMA Gambling Podcast hoodie. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/MMA hoodie for all the details. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
This is Dan Dickow, and you are listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience Western Athletic Conference season preview. Yes, the WAC. Oh, folks, if you just don't know about the WAC, a conference that at one time had BYU, Arizona State, Utah. They've been around for a minute, the Western Athletic Conference, since the early 1960s, and should be another banger of a season as we get ready for a college basketball. Hey, it's like a week away, folks. What are you doing? Less than a week away. Perhaps you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, and that is fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
My medical advice is let's feeling down in life. Find yourself some waction basketball or football. Yes, I do also host the FCS College Football Experience. Let's go. UAC, WAC, whatever. All right. But this is the WAC basketball season here. We're going to go team by team, preview all of the teams in the realm. Abilene Christian, Cal Baptist, Grand Canyon, Seattle, Stephen F. Austin, Tarleton State, UT Rio Grande, UT Arlington, Utah Tech, and Utah Valley. Let's go, folks. Season right around the corner. This is the college basketball experience. Remember, you can watch it on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. And I am joined by my co-host, the man behind the scenes of the college basketball experience and football experience. Shit, everything. All right. He's the host of the college baseball experience. He's already got media passes to games he's telling me about. He's going to make a 5-hour drive to catch some hoops. You got to love it. That's called dedication. That's called passion. And that's what we have here. Give it up for Noah Beanick. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Colby? Yeah, I mean, preseason's flying by fast now. I mean, this is the part where we knew it was going to speed up on us with your move and everything. But I mean, now I'm kind of trying to piece together what the schedule's going to be like. TCE's growing. It's like, hey, shoot your shot with some media credentials. See if you can get into some of these good games. You know what? Champions Classic turned us down. The Blue Bloods over there, they don't like the college experience for some reason. But you know what? Barstool Invitational accepted us. Also, we got college basketball game lines have released. Did a quick scan of those today. Placed my first bet for that first opening night on Monday. Life is good, Colby. How about you? How's the move going?
I need a whiskey. Moving is always the worst thing you can ever do. and I like. I mean, look, you could be moving to a fucking beautiful mansion on the side of a cliff next to the ocean or something, but at the same time, if you don't hire movers, you lost from the start. All right. Next time I need to just hire movers, but I've never hired movers my entire life. My dad's never hired movers his entire life. So like, it's just in the blood of like, we got this. We got this. No. Next. I mean, I'm feeling like Patrick Ewing right now. I'm fucking catching my age here. Ewing on the Sonics, not on the Knicks or at Georgetown.
How did the couch go? Were you straight out of Friends? Rest in peace, Matthew Perry. But was it like pivot?
I actually don't even get the reference, but rest in peace to him. But
I'm not even that big on Friends, but that seems like everywhere.
But no. I mean, I have a very fucking heavy couch. Like, yeah. I've had a lot of couches in my life, but like this is by far the heaviest couch of my life. And
but it must be a good one because you're moving it from this place to the new one.
Actually, no. If I had it my way, I would trash this fucking thing. All right, I would trash. If I had it my way, it would already be trashed. All right.
Oh no way.
I mean, it's not like you wouldn't look at it and say, "Hey, that's a piece of shit couch." But at the same time, is it worth the bang for the buck on the move? No, it's not. It's not. And just certain things. You get married, you know what I mean? You got to sacrifice certain things. So, folks, let's get to it. Let's get to no one gives a shit about my move. All right, let's be honest. My mom doesn't even give a shit about my move. All right,
it's funny. It's a funny story for the listeners. You had to pick it.
There we go.
Needed a story.
Yeah. All right. And look, the real story's in the fucking WAC this year because we got some teams. We got some teams to talk about. But before we go game by game, door by door, like the fucking Avon lady, we want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Prize Picks. Whew. Look, with basketball season here, you can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the specials league, a league created specifically for combo projections that include, two or more players from different sports or leagues. For example, LeBron James, Travis Kelce at a 10.5 combo of, 3-pointers made / receptions in a game. It's fantastic. And look, want to play alongside some of Prize Picks favorites like rapper Meek Mill and comedian Andrew Scholes. You can now find community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries and some of the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each and every week. Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy so that your entries can stay in play even if one of your players gets injured or something like that for football and basketball games. Check it out. So what are you doing, folks? Get on over there. Check out Prize Picks. All right. Check out Prize Picks. Absolutely. It's pretty cool. I was actually been waiting for this. I've actually been waiting for this. It's mind boggling that they haven't figured this out yet. I mean, Prize Picks has, but I'm saying I remember thinking this thought 10 years ago, being like, you should be able to bet in Vegas on okay, Chris Bosh is going to get over 10 boards. Kirk Cousins is going to throw 2 interceptions. I just surprised you didn't have that crossover, that it took this long. So, but Prize Picks figured it out, and that's why they're fucking genius. You should check them out ASAP, folks. So go to prizepicks.com/SGPN. Use that promo code SGPN for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/SGPN. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by the MMA Gambling Podcast. Look, the MMA Gambling Podcast just launched their YouTube channel, so get on over there and subscribe. And also, in honor of that, we're giving away an MMA Gambling Podcast hoodie to one lucky winner. I truly believe if you wear an MMA Gambling Podcast hoodie, your chances of getting in a random brawl at a bar are gonna go down a little bit. All right, just because if you're someone like me and you're 10 whiskeys deep, and maybe you don't like the way the guy's looking at your girl, maybe he's maybe he's talking recklessly, like the NBA is better than college basketball, and he deserves a solid punch to the face. But you're gonna double take and say, wait a second, he's got that MMA shirt on. those MMA motherfuckers. You know, you don't want to be that guy. So look, if you get the sweatshirt, you wear it around town. Even if you can't fight, it's going to work out. And you never know. Maybe some scattered ass will jump up on you and say, "Hey, you know how to fight? I like you." Something like that. But anyway, head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/MMA hoodie to submit your entry today. And make sure to subscribe to the MMA Gambling Podcast on YouTube. All right, we are back on the college basketball experience WAC season preview. What's up, Noah?
Real quick before we dive into all these teams, we don't have enough time, full clarity. College football pick show coming up right after this one. However, this is one of the conferences where the NIT rule changes is going to affect it, because last year you had the Utah Valley Wolverines win the regular season. They go to the NIT Final Four. However, this year with the new rule changes, that might not happen. And that's why it sucks. So the best team in the regular season doesn't have a shot to play good postseason basketball.
Yeah, who votes on this? Like,
I don't know.
I need to know these things.
We don't really have time to dive in head first into it, but it needs to be mentioned on the WAC.
Yeah,
because
the wacky WAC. All right, let's jump on over and talk about Abilene Christian, the Wildcats. That's W-I-L-D. Wildcats. They lose some key guys as Brett Tanner enters his third season. Damian Daniels, Joe Pleasant, Tobias Cameron, all gone. But they do return some solid. They have Cameron Lexington Steele back, 16 and a half minutes a game a season to go at the forward spot, as well as Andre Simmons, Ali Abdul Diba, Emmanuel Allen, and Hunter Jack Madden. Great name, Hunter Jack Madden. All those guys averaged over, most of them played over 20 minutes a game. Only Hunter Jack Madden played 19. Cameron Lexington Steele played only 16 and a half. You got to like that much returning minutes. Then they were active in the portal. They brought portal. They brought in Aiden Igion from Grand Canyon. They also from Howard Community College, not to be confused with the Bison. They brought in Kayvon McLean. I like it. All right, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! I like this. And they got some freshmen they're excited about. So, all in all, I'm intrigued. It's year 3. It's year 3 of this program, and remember, wasn't that long ago Joe Golding had this program rolling. I know they're already catching double digits in Stillwater, week 1 or day 1, not week 1. I'm still in football mode. I'll take the points.
It's still week 1.
Yeah.
Opening night though.
There you go. I'll take the points. And that's why I think this team is a pretty good team. And I think they you look back at a year ago, they were 13-17, 5-11 in the WAC. I think they'll be better this year. How about yourself, Noah Beanick?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be better. They bring back the third most minutes in the conference, and you're going to think to yourself, whoa, they lose 3 starters. But the WAC, they lose 2 of their, better basketball programs from last year, New Mexico State, Sam Houston State. Immediately, I think Abilene Christian is one of the candidates to jump up, as their program has been damn good over the last decade. 4 seniors and a junior in the starting 5. And the 3 guards, they're going to be playing some small ball. They're breaking in a new point guard, but the other 3 all were very close to averaging 10 points a game last year with 20 minutes. With expanded roles, this might be a good group just shooting all the way around, because they were a very efficient shooting team last season.
Yeah. And I see Trevor in the chat, by the way, talking about remember, folks, you can watch this youtube.com/the college experience. Noah's going to that for the Barstool Classic this year. So check that out. If you're there, meet up, buy the guy a beer. All right. Next up, let's jump on over, but I'm with you on Abilene Christian. I think they're going to be fun to watch this year.
They'll be better. Let's
talk about the Lancers, Cal Baptist, right here. I live in Los Angeles. They're not far in Riverside. And 17-16 a year ago, 7-10 in the WAC. For Rick Croy entering year 11, they were always solid to me. especially as they jumped up. I was really impressed. They were another school that we can add to the jump up that was prepared, I felt like, for the jump. However, though, they lose Taron Armstrong and Riley Batten, and Joe Quintana. I mean, this solid guys. Reed Nottage as well, all solid contributors altogether. About 25 points a game. I'm sorry, 35 points a game. I'm sorry. So the returning production here takes a bit of a hit. They do return Blondo Chikachukaniko. I'm just talking out of my ass here. How do Blondo Chick Engo Igno? He played 20 and a half minutes a game last year, and he's pretty solid. So you got him back at the guard spot, as well as Scotty Washington, who played about 11 minutes a game, and Hunter Goodrick at the forward spot, 26 minutes a game a year ago. So you do get that. Also Malik Wade back, who played double-digit minutes a season ago at the forward spot. But yeah, you're counting on some freshmen, and you hit the portal to bring in some guys from San Bernardino Valley Community College. Dominic Daniels is coming in, as well as LSU transfer Kendall Coleman. And look, that make a strong ass offer. Will Wade money. And don't forget Marquette Golden Eagle transfer Zach Reitzel, as well as Grand Canyon Antelope transfer Ivan Udarago. Probably butchering it, but let's just pretend like I'm right. I mean, I kind of expect a little regression, but I do believe Croy's a very good coach. So I think regression probably in the beginning of the season, but watch out come tournament or conference play, because I feel like he gets the maximum out of his teams. But I will say, like, pretty much on par with what a year ago was. What do you think?
Yeah, they lose a good bit of the core from last season that made this team kind of fun in the second half for sure. And Taron Armstrong was a huge piece to this all. They still are the third most experienced team coming into the year in the WAC, according to Torvik. And they bring in a couple of high major transfers. I think that's definitely going to be like visible in the front court here with Hunter Goodrick and Ivan Udarago, who comes in conference from Grand Canyon. Both these guys have seen success in their limited roles at previous places. So I like the front court. The back court's going to need some time to mesh because there's a lot of new pieces here. In general, good coach. And they had an all right year last year. I thought they were feisty in the non-con as well. This is probably a team that is better come conference play. I agree with you with that statement. I think they're probably middle of the pack in the WAC.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember the WAC loses a couple schools. So
yeah,
addition by subtraction. All right, let's move along and talk about a team that I always enjoy watching at home specifically, because their place gets fucking lit. I'm talking about the GCU arena, Grand Canyon, the Antelopes. By the way, start your football program too. Cal Baptist and Grand Canyon. I know they've been talking about it. They need to.
They do, because they have great home environments for basketball and baseball.
Yes, and
they're top 20 in attendance in baseball.
And that Arizona, because a lot of people can't afford California, including myself. That's like, hey, let's move to Arizona. I'm not moving to Arizona, but I'm thinking about it always. Every time I pay rent, I should move to Arizona. You know what I mean? So you never know. Dundee might be there.
Very impressive attendance numbers for an online school.
Yeah. No, they keep it legit. And what are you doing, folks? Let's get the football program going. Bryce Drew. How can you forget Bryce Drew, former Houston Rocket and obviously March Madness fucking legend for his game winner against. So I was watching to show my age a little bit. I was watching Ole Miss Valpo with Patty C's oldest brother, who is a Ole Miss Rebel graduate, and that game was fucking hilarious because seeing sports misery still the greatest thing you can see. Ansu Cisse was at Ole Miss. He thought they had a shot to go deep. Bryce Drew flush in the toilet on the Rebels. Look, they made the NCAA tournament. Grand Canyon found a way, despite finishing sixth in the WAC. 24-12, 10-7 in conference. However, they lose some pieces. Chance McMillan gone, Noah Barman gone, Kobe Knox gone, Walter Ellis gone. But I mean, a lot of those guys reserve guys besides McMillan. They return Javon Blackshear. You might remember him. They also return Rayshawn Harrison. Those guys, that backcourt together, averaged what I'd say, quick math, 28 points to almost 29 points a game. If you're getting that back, unbelievable. You also bring back Gabe McLaughlin, 29 minutes a game a season ago, almost 13 points per game. Josh Baker, veteran guard on the bench, senior, played 21 minutes a game. You gotta love bringing back all those guys. Also, redshirt freshman Isaiah Shaw is back as well on the bench. But bringing in some big time transfers again.
They win the transfer portal.
Duke Brennan comes in from Arizona State. Sidney Curry from Louisville. Caleb Shaw from the Northern Colorado Bears in Greeley, Colorado. Luke Wurr from the Oregon Ducks. Quack quack. Colin Moore from Georgia State. Tyon Grant Foster from DePaul. Grant Foster, I know they're super excited about. I think they're excited about all their pieces really, but Sidney Curry from Louisville is another one that I think will add into the depth here. I mean, they got to be the favorite with that home edge, with returning that much production, and then being that active in the portal, bringing in those types of names. I think they got to be the favorite in the WAC. Noah, your thoughts?
Yeah, you mentioned it. Just I'm gonna retweet everything that you say, but quote tweet and also put in they have one of the best coaches in the conference too. Like all of that, all of the above. They are the oldest, most experienced team in the WAC. They've returned the fourth most minutes from last season, 52.1% of their minutes from a season ago. And a big part of that is the returning backcourt and Javon Blackshear, who's coming off of a torn ACL. So that's a question early on in the season, but come conference play, the Antelopes will be just fine. And Rayshawn Harrison, who averaged almost 18 points a game last year. This team's going to be damn good.
Yeah. I think they're the favorites in that conference, in the Western Athletic Conference. Next up, let's talk about the Seattle Redhawks, Redbirds, Redskins. I don't know what the fuck their name is anymore, but let's go and talk about them in Seattle, Washington. Chris Victor's in year 3, 20-12 last year, 11-7 in conference. Did a good job. And really the only gigantic hit is Grigsby. Riley Grigsby's gone, but they return a ton of minutes. You want to watch out. Seattle brings back Alex Shoemaker, played 31 minutes a game almost, and Paris Dawson and Cameron Tyson. If you didn't watch,
he was electric last season.
Oh my God, watching him. I can remember several games where I was just like, this dude doesn't miss. He's shooting from like half court.
There was one game against one of our darlings where it was like, oh, they're going into a buzzsaw here, and Tyson dropped like 30, I want to say. I went back to their schedule. It was I can't.
Did they play the Toreros of San Diego last year?
They opened the season up with UC San Diego.
Maybe that was the game I was watching. Maybe that was the game I was watching where I was like, he just lit it up. I mean, I watched several games, but I mean,
it could have been Utah State where they just shat on Utah State 84-56.
That might have been it.
Tyson was nuclear in that game, 20-17.
Stud, absolute dog. Also Brandon Chatfield is back, 5th year senior, 6'10", 20, just about 22 minutes a game a year ago. Him, also Kobe Williamson, a guy who was a senior, waited to get that starting position, 18 minutes a game a year ago. He's finally going to get it this year, we think. Also, Sai Riley, Riley. I don't know how to pronounce these names, but he's back, 11.5 minutes a game from a year ago. I can tell you this, with the teams leaving now, I know New Mexico State had a crazy situation where murders were happening, and
they went out with a bang in the WAC.
Yeah, A literal bang. No, I mean, I think this is a contender. This is a contender. Now, yeah, the Crack House. I
forgot about that.
Yeah, the Crack House will be rocking this year. And once again, Seattle, you took away your football program. I'm still mad about that. Bring it back. Noah, what's your thoughts on the Redbirds or Red Hawks or Red Shooters there in Seattle at the Crack House? I think they could win this conference potentially. Like best case scenario, they win this conference, but I think they're going to be competing for a WAC championship.
100%. They're a contender. They bring back the most minutes from last season, 71%. And they're also the third most experienced team coming into the year. And this team has the most continuity, it seems like, of the early teams that we've covered, but also they return 3 starters. There's only 2 teams in the WAC that return 4. You got to like everything about this team. There's almost no new pieces that are going to come in here and affect any kind of team chemistry. It's Cam Tyson's team, but also Shoemaker in the backcourt is going to be able to move the ball, do whatever he wants without Grigsby there. I think that this team is going to be even better than last year. They finished tied for 4th last year in the WAC. I think this is a top 3 team. They're a contender to win the WAC title.
Yeah, I think so too. I really think so. Let's jump on over and talk about the Thunderbirds.
Can we just hold on? Can we just talk about how we're already on the S's and that's 4 teams into the conference?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. I know your conference guidelines. Hey, Chicago State, you start with a C. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Southern Utah. Beautiful. You know, I forget the actual city, but Zion, Cedar City, Utah. If you ever go see Zion National Park, which is amazing in my opinion, you're right there. Might as well check out a football or basketball game for the Thunderbirds. They made the CBI last year, 24-13, 12-6. But Todd Simon, he's gone. He's gone. He said, "I'm out of here." Where did he go? Where did he go? Bowling Green? Bowling Green, right? I think he went to Bowling Green, somewhere in the MAC. In comes in Rob Jeter. No relation to Derek, as far as I know. But Rob did a good job with the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. He's a former Bruce Pearl guy. Gotta love that.
Green, you're correct, by the way.
Watch out for the barbecues. But hey, I mean, interesting hire. I think it might work out. Now, obviously, they lose with coaching hires these days when your team leaves.
A giant chunk just left.
Tavion Jones gone. Fawcett gone. Harrison Butler gone. Drake Allen gone. Jason Spurgeon gone. Cameron Healy gone. So I mean, this is a true fucking rebuild here. It's like starting a brand new franchise.
True freshman at point guard, or redshirt freshman at point guard. Sorry.
Yeah. I know they brought in Dominic Ford from Idaho. They're excited about Jameer Simpson, who is from UW Parkside. Shout out to anyone who goes to those games. UTEP transferred Jamari Sibley, Prophet Johnson. Holy shit, we got a fucking legend from Bellevue coming in. I mean, they returned one guy off last year's team in Zion Young. Zion playing in Zion, you can't fade that. I expect a lot of regression in year 1, despite their fantastic season a year ago with the Thunderbirds. I think the hire might be a good hire, but we got to give it time. You got to give it time to build that thing. Noah, your thoughts on the Thunderbirds?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. You kind of took a lot of the points that I was going to make right off the plate. Southern Utah, they returned 3% of their minutes from last season. That's even in a new coach. You expect the turnover.
It's unbelievable, right?
It's either 0, like you can expect 0. You know, just the whole roster turns over. But they're returning 3%. That's actually an accomplishment. But yeah, this team going from a contender throughout last season, finishing 3rd in the WAC. I think this team sees big time regression, and by team I just mean program, because the team doesn't come back. So I think this team is going to be interesting in the first half. We say it, there's usually like one or two teams in each conference that is like this. See how the team meshes, what it's like throughout the first half of the season, and then adjust kind of off of some of the results that you see in November and December. Because from early on in the preseason, it's hard to be bullish on a team that you've never seen play before. So teams down in the basement for me, I could be surprised, but yeah, that's where I'm going to have them.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Look, before I get to the next team, I want to tell you that the College Basketball Experience Western Athletic Conference preview is brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Yes, win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every NFL, NBA, MLB, and soccer bet with historical stats and data. They're going to remind you when you go to bet on, I don't know, the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to remind you about the days Boomer Esiason threw for over 500 yards against the Washington Redskins. They're going to remind you that perhaps. That's the type of intel you need. All right, perhaps. No, I believe it. No, they got a great, look, they have a thing called the parlay optimizer tool, right? You can enter any parlay into the Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary. I don't know if we could say revolutionary these days, but parlay optimizer tool, and it will break down each leg of your parlay as well as an expected probability for the entire parlay. Sort out players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which, have value essentially. So stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft more intelligent, data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use that promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right, we are back on the College Basketball Experience. You should be watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Also, please, iTunes, get over there. 5-star review. It's that type of season. All right. I know you're thinking about your turducken, your holiday shopping, all that. You just got a bunch of fucking candy. You're eating your candy corns and all that shit that your kids bringing in, right?
Yeah, Colby, I told that story yesterday for Halloween. We had 25 total kids. There was a blizzard in Michigan. I don't know if you were watching Action football.
Oh, and I said, you better believe if you're gonna move, you might as well blend that with Action football.
Yeah. So I told Mac if Colby was on the show, he'd say the next generation's just soft. They're not going around getting candy in a blizzard. Come on now,
dude. I live in Los Angeles. You know how many people showed up at my door? 0.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
Right? That's because LA they don't trust anybody, right? I understand, you know what I mean? But at the same time, come on. Life's going to hit you one way or another. So just shut the fuck up and take a chance. All right. You gamble every day in life. But anyway, let's get over to, my point is if you get some candy corns or whatever the fuck, milk duds. I feel like milk duds are a thing at Halloween with their little small packages.
I love milk duds.
Yeah. So you get the milk duds, you get your Kit Kats, whatever it is. All right. Use that sugar rush to get on over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. All right.
There you go.
Now let's talk about one of my favorite programs. I still remember them upsetting the Duke Blue Devils in Cameron Indoor Stadium, and obviously their March Madness runs. And I'm talking about the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. I know Northern Arizona is the Lumberjacks as well, but they're not Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin's cooler. You know what I mean? They're just cooler. So love the name. One of the better names. Love the jerseys say like Jacks on the fucking jersey. It's awesome. I dig everything about this program really. 19-13 a year ago, 11-7. Kyle Keller in year 8. They do lose some key pieces, much like but they return a shit ton too. But Nigel Hawkins.
They're one of 2 teams that returned 4 starters from last year.
There you go. Nigel Hawkins is the one guy gone. They lose some reserves in Jalen Jackson Posey, Roddy Ware, Derek Tazzino. These guys are deep on the bench, but they're gone. And then Frank they used the portal. They brought in Frank Kumstain from Utah Tech. They brought in Miles Jenkins from Anderson, Jawani Stone from Cal Baptist. A lot of the even Snow White, Clayton Southwick transferred in from Snow White University. But look, they like you alluded to.
The chat wants you to run through the entire starting five here, all their names.
Let's fucking go. I love a good challenge. All right. We're gonna start off with their bigs, their front court. Nana Antwi Boyasako. He's back. And he's ready to play ball. 27 minutes a game, 7.5 points. And he's going to get more minutes this year. He's going to be a bigger force. They also have Sada Adrian Hall.
His nickname's Day Day, by the way.
Day Day Hall, yeah. Day Day Hall, dog. All right. 13 points per game a year ago. Frank Kumstain transfers in. He's projected to be in their starting five. Latrell Jostle. That one's an easy one. All right, come on. And then AJ Cahuste. Let's go.
Nailed that one actually.
Well, you know, I know that.
Look,
my wife is from South America, man. So I know that J's an H tricks. They try to trick you with that shit. You know what I mean?
And the A probably stands for Alejandro, and the J probably stands for Gene or something like that.
Yeah, and there's 100% chance that I still could be fucking this up, but that's part of the fun, folks. Look, this team is
3 stars, 3 gold stars.
Oh,
good
there
job.
You go. Out of 5?
Just wait out of 3.
Just wait till BYU football next year. That's what. Welcome. Shout out to our longtime fan. Welcome to UAB. Who goes, I just replay Colby doing the BYU football roster. 5 times a year. And I'm like, Sayo Ute, Palomolute. Like it's just fucking hilarious. But anyway, dude, this team's gonna be a contender in the conference. Love this team, love this program, and I'm excited to watch them this year. What do you make of these Jacks?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we kind of touched on it. They returned the second most minutes from last season, 64.5%. And the entire projected starting 5 all played 25 or more minutes from a season ago. And Frank Stone was he comes in from Utah Tech. Everybody played 25 minutes a season ago in the WAC, which is a plus. This team is going to be in title contention 100%. The thing for me about Stephen F. Austin is their defense. When you think of like a typical Lumberjacks team, they are like tenacious everywhere on the defensive end. They were 12th in rebounding. I think another year into the system that probably improves a little bit. This team is definitely going to be good. I'm just trying to poke a hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's talk about one of their rivals, Tarleton State, the Texans. Texas tough. Last year, 17-17, made the CBI first round before they lost. Billy Dizzy Gillespie is their head coach there, entering year 4, and I love how they play at the Wisdom Gymnasium. All right, bring your tinfoil hats. So they lose a ton. All right, Shamir Bogues gone, Freddie Hicks gone, Tiger Booker gone, Shakur Daniel gone. However, they bring in. I kind of trust the culture that Billy Gillespie has. Yeah, like they're always like a super tough defensive team, and they do return Ja'Cory Smith, who averaged 22 minutes a game a year ago, about 10 points a game, and Lou Williams, who played 25 minutes a game, 11 points per game. Those two are going to I think they're going to be the anchors of this team. There's a couple other reserves later on that bench, Keandre Gaddy, Jalen Thomas that are back. But I think what we got to be excited about is some of these transfers that you probably have no idea who the hell they are. Adam Mosa coming in from Black Hills State. They can play at Black Hills State. How about Dario Domingos from UT Arlington? And Travar Jackson from Prima Community College. They also have a kid from Switzerland, Kaya Mutuamburwa coming in. Better than he's better than he's better than the fucking chocolate they have in Switzerland. Switzerland. You know what I mean? They're known for their chocolate. They got the fucking Alps. I see all those videos online where they're on a fucking train, or they, just looking so fucking beautiful. Looks like something out of a fairy tale. All right, but in that fairy tale is Kaya Matuamburwa, and he's a fucking stud. All right, so I'll tell you this: I'm already placing a bet. Tarleton covers. What did I say that spread was? 17.5 against the UVA. Get out of here.
It was large. I don't know if it was that large. I think it was close to probably 15.5. But
either way,
you're talking about Virginia winning a game by 16 plus.
Two defensive teams that could get out of here. Get out of here. By the way, adjust the bottom of the line, buddy.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm behind on that.
Yeah, I just feel like 18-1. You want to get a little crazy? Sprinkle a little bit. I mean, look, I know they lose everybody, but I just trust
you're a little crazy. You're a little crazy with that, but
they could still do it. It's America, Jack. All right, what are you doing here?
This conference is kind of turning out a little bit chalky. I think you and I have been on the same page on many of the teams that we've already covered here. Tarleton State, you got to believe in Billy Gillespie, and the defense is what they hang their hat on. They lose a lot of offense, like pieces that were productive on the offensive side of the ball, but he brings in a lot of JUCO kids that are just going to buy into the system. They're happy to be playing D1 ball. And Adam Musa coming in from Black Hills State, you mentioned that they're a good program over there. 5 assists last season. When you're talking about 2 studs returning in Lou Williams and Ja'Cory Smith, who are probably going to lead the team in scoring, that's a huge part, having a non-selfish point guard willing to dish the ball around. This team is going to surprise some people if they're not, accounting for the coach, in my opinion, because this team doesn't look pretty on paper. They're going to perform better than
that. Yeah, they will. And I'm trying to quickly find that line. I accidentally exited the window.
15.5, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. It was 15.5. So just to give you an idea, folks, UVA lost to Furman in the NCAA tournament, right? They beat North Carolina Central by 12 last year to start the season, right? Now they did beat the piss out of Monmouth, but remember Monmouth
completely turned it over.
Yeah. But you look at some of the other ones against quality competition. I'm not going to use Maryland Eastern Shore because they would have covered that, but JMU, they only beat by 5, right? I think JMU and Tarleton are on a similar level, right?
I don't know. JMU had a lot of talent last year. I don't know if I can give you that one,
dude. Tarleton made the CBI.
JMU's beaten Virginia before.
Oh yeah, you do have the little brother angle. You do have the little brother angle, but my point is that. Okay, what about North Carolina Central? Would you use that one?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I was just giving you shit for the JMU one because I think there's a couple other factors that played into that.
I'll say this though: Tarleton JMU play neutral. I'm taking Tarleton.
We were talking pre-show, like the
last
year. Yeah, we were talking pre-show. The one bet that I made was Niagara plus 7.5 against Notre Dame. Here with the lines just dropping today in the afternoon. The Tarleton State one, I find interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I know what you're betting on the culture here with Billy Gillespie, and that they're gonna play stout defense. Virginia's not gonna blow them out. I don't like that one. Wasn't one of the first games that jumped off the page to me. I'll wait for people to bet on Virginia, and then I'll slide in a dime on Tarleton.
And should I remember or remind the great people what Tarleton did against some P5s last year? They lost at Arizona State by 3, right?
Was that the season before? Did they play Michigan, or did they play Michigan?
I think it was the season before. Then they beat Boston College on November 20th by 16. All right. I know it's a different team this year. They did get smacked by Baylor by 23, but once again, like Baylor's got enough athleticism to really fuck with them. UVA suffers. They never have that many great athletes. Then wait, that's all of them, right? It's pretty. Let me see if they played any.
Going back a season
Yeah.
before when you did, they lose to Kansas by 26. I mean, most Kansas lines are set in the mid 20s. They lose to Stanford by 12, Wichita State by 14, Michigan by 11, Gonzaga. They were actually beating Gonzaga for some of that game. They lose by 9.
Yeah, I remember that game. Yeah.
They traditionally stay in games.
Take the points, people. Take the points right now. Giving you early Dundee play. All right, enough with me. Talking about this Texas team, but I am excited to see. I actually love the WAC, man. The WAC's fantastic. Let's talk about UT Arlington because the Mavericks. You're in Texas. You don't have a fucking football program. What a disgrace to the country. Look, KT Turner, year 1. Last year they were ass 11-21, but he wasn't there. Wasn't his fault. All right. Now, they lose Kyron Gibson. They lose Chendall Weaver. They lose Brandon Walker and Marion Humphrey. No big deal because they return Philip Russell. Dog. 18 points a game from a season ago. Also, they return Aaron Cash Money, baby. 22 minutes, 8 points a game. And Shamar Wilson, who played big. Dude, this team is more talented than their final record last year. Also, Brandon Talbot on the bench, another guy that got some solid burn. They go out in the portal. They bring in Philip Russell from SEMO. They also bring in Sterling Gaston Chapman from Tulsa, as well as Fabio Basili from the Louisville Cardinals, and Achille Vinning from Texas Wesleyan. I bet you they have their program. I bet you they have their football program going. All in all, hey, this team's going to be better than last year. Noah, your thoughts on the Mavericks?
Yeah, I think you can only go up from here, from where they finished last year. They finished 9th, and you mentioned it. Two pretty good basketball programs leave the conference. They're only going to go up. They're going to projected to start 3 juniors and 2 seniors. I mean, everybody on this team from last year played almost 18 minutes a game, and they returned their point guard. And Philip Russell had 18 points per game, 32.5 minutes, and 5 assists last season. They've got the necessary pieces. This roster didn't completely turn over from last year, even though it's KT Turner's first year. So I'm kind of with you. This team's going to take a small step forward. I'm not looking for big things out of the Mavericks, but I think they're like a back of the middle of the pack team for me.
All right, let's move along to UTRGV, better known as UT Rio Grande Valley. Oh, well, wait. They have been listening to Dundee. They are starting their football program. Shout out to UTRGV, who will have a new program in the next 2 years. That's all we asked. We like football, we like basketball, we like baseball, and we like hockey. Every school in the nation should have those. All right, I don't care if you got 400 kids at your fucking institution. You line up 11 on offense, you line up at 11 on defense, and you see where you can fucking win. All right, let's go. Noah, this is a team a year ago. First off, a couple years ago, this was one of my darlings. I want to say like
they were a wagon in like 2022, 21.
It might have been even, it might have been like 21 or maybe even 19. It wasn't the COVID year. One of these years, I was fucking dancing on the ceiling like Lionel Richie, making money with this Matt Figures back for year 3. And look, they lose a ton. All right. Justin Johnson, who was a dog for them. Will Johnson, who was very good for them. Dima Zador, gone as well. Also Adante Hollyman, gone. All those guys gone, but have faith because front court looking good. Dalen Williams back 27 minutes a game a season ago. Aaron Freeman back 21 minutes a game a season ago. Those two guys. Now I think they're going to get more minutes than even that a year ago. And I expect them both to be averaging double digits this year. Sherman Brashear is back at the guard spot, 22 minutes a game a season ago, just about. So you got that production. CJ Jackson played double-digit minutes a year ago. Also, John Chanu the second at the forward spot, damn near close to double-digit minutes a game. And then you're taking a couple waivers here, going out in the portal from East Tennessee State, former Buccaneer DeAnthony Tippler coming in. Also, Hassan Abdul Hakim from Southern Idaho. And then Elijah Elliott, who I know they're very excited about, from Blinn Community College. Never heard of them, but I'm sure he can ball. Also, a few other guys that they brought in. Saye from Ellsworth Community College that will be on that bench. I mean, you gotta like the minutes that return. I'm always weary, though, of like inexperienced point guard play, but I mean, I can't see them being worse than last year, but maybe right around there. What are you doing here, Noah?
I could see them being a little worse than last year. They returned 3 seniors. They're all in the front court. And the 2 guards that they bring in that they expect big things from to start, they come in from Blinn and East Tennessee State, Elijah Elliott and DeAnthony Tippler, respectively. I don't know what to expect from this team. Therefore, they're going to be demoted kind of to where they were last year, and that was they were a basement dweller for most of the year. I like the Vaqueros, but I don't find this roster too appealing to me personally. I think the backcourt's a huge question, and there's also just I'm not buying into the backcourt. That's a big thing for me here. I can't get into UTRGV.
Just like that. You're just so wait. Are you making the projection dead last?
So for the WAC, I've got one other basement team so far. So they'll be, as of right now, second to last or last.
Oof. Okay, let's jump on over and talk about Dixie State. See, they had a D in the alphabet and they changed their fucking name. Utah Tech. I prefer Dixie State. The Trailblazers, longtime coach John Judkins, 19th year. Gotta love that. 14-19 a year ago, 5-13 in conference play at the Burns Arena. Will that be rocking?
Do you
St.
love
George?
it? They've kind of not been good lately.
No, I mean, you love the. I mean, to me, if you're Utah Tech and you have a coach that is dedicating that, like, I think we're ridiculous in modern day shit, really, on firing coaches. Like even Brian Ferentz, I find ridiculous. Like, it's like, are you not happy going 10-2 every year?
The question needs to be asked, though. I think. I mean, so I'm going through his tenure at Dixie State, Utah Tech.
They jumped up, right?
Yeah, they haven't had a winning season yet.
Okay,
so,
patience.
Yeah. There's been a slight improvement each year. I'll give them that.
Yeah,
8 wins, 13 wins, 14 wins.
Loyalty, buddy. It goes a long way in life. All right, let's go. This is my team, and who cares if they lose Frank Cumstain? All right. I'm joking, Frank. You're a good player, and we wish you the best. All right. We joke a lot on the show, if you can't tell. Look, they return Tanner Christensen, 25 minutes a game a year ago. Also Noah Gonzalez, 31 minutes a game a season ago, and that's it. They got a brand new team there. They got a brand new team. Okay, you know, I don't know a lot about some of these institutions.
They're in the cellar. They're the youngest
I have
team,
not watched.
Not much experience. A lot of JUCO guys.
Yeah, I have not watched Scottsdale Community College play basketball, and they brought in a transfer from there. A couple Garden City transfers. All right, a Southeastern transfer, Jalen Sears, or I'm sorry, Searles. David Elliott from Garden City, as I alluded to, a Hawaii transfer, and Beion Riley. played about 16 and a half minutes a game with the Rainbow Warriors. That could be a nice piece. Yes, you got to project them dead last right now. I mean, they're waiting on some waivers too. I mean, why should we be bullish on them, Noah?
They returned their center from last year, who played 25 minutes a game and almost averaged 10 points and 7 boards. That's the one positive. Tanner Christensen. Other than that, they're in the base. They are dead last in the WAC.
Are we 100% like how good do you feel about that projection?
Good.
Okay, because I remember an Oregon State team a few years ago that I thought I got no idea. There's so many freshmen and transfers here.
The other two teams that I have in the basement with them is Southern Utah, who's shown life as a program lately. They're a pretty good program, just complete turnover, new coach. There's some doubt there. And UTRGV, who had a good year just recently in 21 or 22. I can't remember which year it was. I can go back if I wanted to, but those are the other two teams in the basement. I think Utah Tech is the clear front runner to come in last.
All right. Just like that. Just like that.
I'm cutting the cord. Just rip it off. Loyal. You preached to me early. Like, loyalty's great. I think winning speaks more.
We'll see. We'll see, buddy. All right.
Because the other thing is, like, he hasn't really retained any of his guys. So, like, this is their 4th year in D1, and they don't have a senior on the roster.
How's St. Joe's been since they got rid of Phil Martelli?
Oh, I'm not going to speak to that.
Just saying.
Michigan picked him up.
You had a legendary coach. You thought you were some fucking hot shot. You're fucking
They're
Dixie State.
This year is the year. St. Joe's has some hype this year.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we talk about Utah Valley. Oh man, NIT Final Four last year under Mark Madsen. Todd Phillips, not the director from The Hangover. He's the new head coach. And man, they were 28-9 a year ago, 15-3. And I mean, I understand, Madsen's gone, but I mean, they made good hires. It was who they had before. It was Pope, right? They had Pope, I think, and then they went. I feel like they've always had good coaches. Like since they jumped up, I feel like every time you caught a Valley game, you're like, hey.
Yeah. They had Mark Pope before Madsen.
So I'm going to trust whoever does the hiring over there because Todd Phillips, you've earned my trust. All right, let's go. They lose everybody though. This whole team's gone. Like literally the whole fucking team is gone. So they do return Jaden McClanahan, who played about 8 minutes a game a year ago. Also Ethan Potter played about 9 minutes a game a year ago. The rest, portal. Freshman. Tanner Toulson coming in from BYU. Drake Allen coming in from the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah. Drake Allen, that was a great get for them. And Toulson, I mean, BYU keeps a good program. Also, Kamani Doughty from New Orleans coming in. What are they? The Pioneers, I believe, or the Privateers, something like that. Also, Caleb Stone Carwell coming in from the Governors of Austin P. Trevin Dorius from Utah State. Just a lot of in-state talents. Even they bring in Simon Akina from McCook College. Anyone out there catch McCook College last year? I mean, they're not going to be what they were last year, but I trust their hiring process. Whoever's making the calls over there, they have a good track record of doing it. So they'll probably be more chippier than most think. But yes, obviously this is one where I would say regression is going to be happening. Noah, your thoughts on Valley?
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of retort back to what I said about Tarleton. Good coach Todd Phillips. He was the assistant coach for Madsen here last year. They go to the Final Four in the NIT. That's attractive to newcomers into the Utah Valley, into the WAC. So I think they make some good additions. This team is going to be better than what they look like on paper. Immediately just going to say that they're kind of like right there in the same package as Tarleton State for me.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
They're a program that is very good defensively. That's not going to change just because they lose production offensively. They're going to get some guys that are able to buy in on the back end of the floor. They're going to be better than people expect.
I agree. All right, look, that's all the teams we just went through. I read a million fucking names right there. And now we get to have fun and essentially project the order that we have them finishing in. So what, 10 schools did I count? Is that 10? 11. You sure?
Yep.
It was 11? Yep. Okay. 11th place.
Dixie
I think
State.
we've already alluded to this. Unfortunately, it's
not unfortunate.
It's going to be Dixie State, but I don't know. Long-time coach. He's been around the block. He's been in jams before like this and got his way out of there. Maybe. All right. Who do you have at 10th?
UTRGV.
Harsh.
I love the Vaqueros. They're just not going to be good this year.
I think they could be better than 10th, man.
TVBJ also brings up Utah Valley as a foreign trip team. Extra practices and chemistry from playing, transfer and turnover, but got extra time together. That's huge. And it's also huge for Phillips getting first time head coaching experience overseas. 100%.
My number 10 team, Southern Utah Thunderbirds. Regression's got to have to happen.
I have the Thunderbirds at 9.
All right. So we're just one off because my number 9 is UTRGV. Number 8.
My number 8 is UT Arlington.
That's my number 8. So who's your number 7?
I will go with Cal Baptist.
Man, you don't trust that culture? You don't like the veteran coaches. That's what I've learned about you here. Number 8 to me. This is where it gets tough for me. This is where you're sitting there saying, give me Tarleton at 8. Gosh, I don't know though. So yeah, Tarleton at 8. Let's go. Who you got at 7?
You have the 8th team in the WAC covering against Virginia?
Yeah, no problem. Virginia only scores like 57 points a game. So if you're, can you score 40? No, 42. Yeah. 42 wins. 42 points wins. All right. Can you get it? This is like when Iowa's laying like 21. And you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
How much offense can they get? You know, so that's why I think you got to play it. You got to play it. So, yeah. Anyway, next up, where are we at? Number 7.
My 7 was Cal Baptist. Did you respond with your 7?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My 7 was didn't I just say 7? What number were we on? I just said my number 7, right?
I said my 7. Did you say your 7th team? Was that because I thought Tarleton was 8 and I asked you that, right?
Okay, then you must have snuck in Baptist.
Okay, my bad.
No, I think you're right.
Actually, you know what? I said you said one of my teams and I said I have them 8th and it got us out of order. This is what our fucking 26th conference preview. And
okay, so look, 11th. You have who?
Dixie State at 11.
We both
Rio
have
Grande at 10.
Okay.
Southern Utah at 9. UT Arlington at 8. Cal Baptist at 7. What's your 11 through 7?
We agree. Utah Tech at 11. The only difference is I have at number 10. I do not have UTRGV. I have Southern Utah. At number 9, I have UTRGV. At number 8, I have Tarleton. At number 7, you have Cal Baptist. At number 7 for me is Abilene Christian.
Wow, you're low on them. I have them.
Dude, they're all going to be within like a game. You realize that? Like,
I mean, yeah.
Like
I 100% realize that, but I think they're a better roster than a couple of these.
I do too. I mean, maybe they got to prove it to me a little bit. Who do you have at 6th?
Utah Valley.
That's my number 6 as well. Number 5.
Tarleton.
My number 5 is Cal Baptist. Number 4.
I like Abilene Christian, but they can't crack that top 3. I got them at 4.
At number 4 for me, Mavericks, baby. UTA. Who's your number 3?
3, I have Seattle.
3, I have Seattle as well. 2.
Stephen F. Austin.
Correct. And 1, Grand Canyon, right?
Yep.
Top 3, the same, folks. College basketball experience, the same. We're rocking all year long when the season tips on November 6th. That means starting on November 5th, every night of the season, we're going to have a show handicapping every single game, talking about every single team, because we're fucking maniacs and we love this sport so much. So please stop fucking with it with the NIT and fuck you, Greg Sankey. If you're trying to do a 175 team NCAA tournament, right, where you only get in every Power 5. But anyway, folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. It's going to be fun to see how this thing shakes out. I can't wait to watch all these games. Best time of year. Let's go.
College football picks in 20 minutes. Southland right after college football picks with me and Mac. Going to be a fun night, everybody.
There you go. So college football week 10 preview and picks. Yeah, about 20 minutes going off, and then Southland basketball. Noah, Mac doing it. All right, and doing it well, like LL said. Folks, subscribe to the College Basketball Experience and follow them on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Noah is on Twitter. Noah Beanick. Give him a follow on Twitter at Noah B77_. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. And don't forget youtube.com/the college experience to subscribe. Please hop on over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. Even if you tell me I'm a fucking idiot, just give us the 5 stars. I'll be happy with that. All right. Then please also subscribe to check out by the way, the YouTube page is the hub for all of our shows. I host the FCS College Football Experience, the FBS College Experience, which is just called the College Football Experience, the College Baseball Experience. Noah Beanick does, and myself. And we also have the Big 12 Experience with Moneyline Mac. What's up?
YouTube is the number one option to watch it immediately. Like you are instantly, always, every time going to get the show first on YouTube. Then we upload the audio on podcast platforms.
Yeah. Folks.
Lines change, and they're crazy the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. So buckle up, folks. Get the SGPN app. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast as well. Every Friday night, they're live from Las Vegas, Nevada on VSiN, VSIN. That is Brent Musburger's network. You get it. If you have YouTube TV, you get that. So check it out every Friday night, 9:00 Pacific, midnight Eastern. Can't wait for the season. Let's go.
There's an app that you can download on your phone for free too, VSiN.
Boom. There you go, folks. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. And while you're getting apps, you can get ours, SGPN app, for free in the App Store and Google Play Store. Get that. And come talk college hoops with us in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Until next time, folks, this is the College Basketball Experience, WAC style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Selling's off, so I can't be found. I'm on a worldwide tour, touring every fucking curtain down. They say the Lord watches over my sins, over my head, watching hair as it thins. Over the ledge, it ain't letting me in. There's still regiments and relevance to letting me win. Win, lose or draw. You ain't prepared unless you all ready to lose it all. Losing a brawl? Yeah, that's a ride day. Good friends know my Nina Hideaway. They came and went, but the riders stay. So it's like I won the lottery and can't be found. until I resurface with the latest purchase. 33 in a third and 45 circles. You ain't got that shit. And I ain't 45 king. But on the beats, I've been doing my thing. I start the program and the doorbell ring. I gotta leave town to a place I can't be found. My celling's off, so I can't be